let me tell you what's happened last year. In 2023 was a crazy year. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Wow, it's been a long time. So last time I've uploaded a video was about a year ago, and I was in that video, and I'm gonna link this at the end. I talked about why I was stepping away. So, wow, so much has happened. I'm gonna kind of go through this really quick on chronological order. But if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad to be back here. Let me go back to what's happened last year. We moved. So gist of it, what's been happening? My dad got sick. My mom got sick. Right after, I think, right around the time I uploaded the video. I don't remember exactly what the video was talking about. Actually, other than to say that I was going to take some time off because we had bought a house. We were going to go through renovation so that my parents could live with us because we were realizing that they couldn't live on their own anymore. When all of this was going on, I'm not sure if we had closed on the house or we were like ready to, we were under contract or what the deal was when I stopped. My parents, both of my parents my father was hospitalized for about a month. Let me back up. Last year in January, my mother fell. She called my dad. He went over to help her, and this is when they were living in their own house. He went over to help her. Instead of helping her up, he fell down himself, broke his hip. We were in two different emergency rooms in two different hospitals. My father has severe congestive heart failure, so he needed to go to a trauma center, and my husband and my sister went there. My brother-in-law was holding down the fort, making sure all the dogs were okay. I went to a different emergency room, and my mother was a very bad sprain. My father broke his hip, but what happened during the ER visit was that they found out that his congestive heart failure had gotten worse. He had fluids all over his body, and that if he didn't come in, he would have probably died. And so it was a blessing in disguise. Because of his hip fracture, he needed to get his mitral valve, which he was supposed to get fixed like a month later, fixed as soon as possible, so that he couldn't do physical therapy and stuff. So long story short, he was in the hospital for about a month. He was at home, and my sister and I were taking care of my father around the clock, like 24/7. He was never left alone because I don't know if you find this too, that, I mean, we slept in the hospital. I find that when you're there, I'm able to take care of my father better because they were short staffed. Nurses are really busy. They're taking care of a lot of patients. So a lot of times when, he soiled himself, it was my sister and I who was able to, clean him quickly rather than waiting for the nurse to come, who's got a lot of other patients that they were also taking care of. So the nurses loved us. We loved the nurses. Sometimes we were able to catch some minor mistakes in medications. So, for example, the doctor would say, I'm going to stop this, had written it, but hadn't actually it didn't quite get processed into pharmacy. There's a lag, that kind of stuff. And we were able to say, oh no, we decided, the doctor stopped that medicine. So after a few times of those kind of things happening, I mean, with other hospital visits with my mother or father in previous years, we know to be there for them, be their advocate. So, and we're very lucky that we're able to do that. So, long story short, he came home. We continued to provide 24/7 care for him at home because he was still having a hard time. Now he's able to walk with a walker. He's moved into my house, as with my mother. That was a lot of work for my sister and me, because especially my sister, because she went through all the documents that they had accumulated over the last 50 years. That's hard. If those of you who have had to move your elderly parents into a different living situation, you know how hard it is when your parents have accumulated lifelong worth of stuff. And my mom had a lot of stuff. I mean, not because she buys a lot. She doesn't really buy. My mom, doesn't buy. She was always frugal. My parents have always been frugal. We had nothing for a long time. So, but because she grew up poor and we had nothing for a long time, when somebody said, "I don't need this anymore. Do you want it?" She'd go, "Yeah." She's so cute. Actually, I got a little bit of that too. Um, anyway, so we moved. We renovated our house that we bought. We upsized rather than downsized. I needed a bedroom on the first floor rather than on the second floor that our previous home used to have. Mainly because as I was carrying my laundry basket and my dogs around me, I've almost tripped going down the stairs a few times. I thought, I'm going to break my neck. I'm going to die trying to do laundry. So I knew I wanted a bedroom on the first floor for us. I also knew that my parents could no longer take care of themselves, so we needed to find a space big enough to accommodate my parents and possibly my mother-in-law because she lives in the West Coast. We live in the East Coast, and but in case she needed, my father-in-law had passed away the year before. She wants to stay. She doesn't want to move, which is okay. But I wanted to have a big enough house so that if she wanted to live with us, that I could offer that to her. And we do. We have a room that's dedicated solely for my mother-in-law, and she stayed there once. So, and also my kids. I have two kids. They live far away from us. So when they come, and they don't have any, I don't have any grandchildren, but if they come with their, expanding families, I wanted to be able to accommodate them. I didn't want to send them to a hotel and see them only at mealtime. So, and my daughter-in-law and my son had stayed with us during this year for 2 weeks during Christmas, and it was fabulous. And I mean, I love my daughter-in-law. And it's just so easy. It's just so much fun and so nice to have them home and have them be comfortable, and they could work from home without hopefully too much sacrifice. So that's happened. We've moved. My parents are doing better. There was a time period in October where my mother had fainted. We needed to get that worked up. Those of you who follow me for a while, my mother has very unsteady balance. She actually walks like a 2-year-old. It's getting progressively worse. And we're going through workup, but they think that our neurologist thinks that she might have what's called cerebellum ataxia, which is degeneration of the cerebellum, and your muscle tones get weaker, and that's what we can see the progression. And we're trying to fight it. I'm having her do physical therapy exercises and stuff like that. And I'm having her do, she loves art. At some point, I'm going to show you some of the art that she drew when she was younger. It's just amazing. I have it hung up in my house. It used to be in our basement, stuck somewhere in the corner. Now I had it reframed. She absolutely loves living here. My parents absolutely love it, and I'm so glad that we're able to do that. And my sister lives nearby now, so she comes over all the time. And I feel so lucky to be able to provide that for our aging parents. They deserve it. You know what? My parents went through hell and back to raise us. This is the least we could do. This is how I know that's how my siblings feel about it. Just to like, not to brag, but I'm going to about my son, my daughter-in-law, and my daughter. When all this stuff happened with my parents, and my mom needed care, my father needed 24/7 care, and my sister and I had to take care of my father. My children, including my daughter-in-law, volunteered to come and take care of my mom in their busy schedule, and they said we could try to work from home, from remotely, and take shifts, which is what they did. But it was really nice to see that my kids really stepped up, because they didn't have to, because I know they're busy, they're young, they're busy, they got things to do, but made me good job, Mom. Anyway, what else? We went on 3 trips. These trips were planned before all of this house purchase and renovation and all this. We went to Egypt and Jordan.
Keep your body relaxed.
Relax. Hi, Margaret.
And our bus in Jordan caught on fire. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, you could still see it, I think. You'll see what happened to our bus. We were in Dead Sea. And by the way, I didn't want to go on these trips, but because we had already paid and my sister said, go, I'll take care of mom and dad and I'll hold down the fort for a couple weeks, I went. But it was stressful because I was making international phone calls like through Facebook app, Messenger and things like that, so that we could talk about where do I want to put the sconces, how big was that kind of decisions, and what color. The decisions that you have to make regarding renovation. What else? Oh my gosh, so much. Well, I was talking about Jordan, fire on our bus. I lost thousands of dollars worth of items, which eventually the company, Friendly Planet, I highly recommend them, stood by, and they had their subcontractor and insurance company pay portion. Whatever they didn't cover, we got credit with Friendly Planet. So at some point, we will take another trip with Friendly Planet. Egypt was amazing, but I'm not sure that I'd go back. The vendors are very pushy. I mean, even at the airport, somebody would help you get your luggage in, and then they will go, "Where's my money?" Which I get it. It's so. Of course, we paid, but I don't like the pushiness, and those of you who went to Egypt kind of may know. But anyway, the people that we met were incredibly nice. Our tour guides were amazing. And we learned a lot about, it was just amazing trip. Petra, we went to Petra in Jordan. Oh my gosh, that was a wonderful trip. And then we went, for our wedding anniversary, we started out at Prague. We took a riverboat cruise with Viking on Elbe River. The problem was the river was too dry, so we really didn't have a river cruise. We got to stay on the river boat, but it was like a hotel, stationary hotel. I think we took like a 45-minute little, cruise down the river for a little bit and then came back. But what should have been like a, nice river cruise and visiting different cities, it was more of a bus tour. So Vikings has given us some credit for future Viking trip. So I think we are planning to go on a Danube cruise in October with some of that credit. The other thing we did is we took my son, daughter-in-law, because she's never been on a ocean cruise, and my mother-in-law from Venice to Athens, via Croatia and many of the Greek islands. It was amazing. And it was so much fun spending. My mother-in-law's 90. She turned 90 this year, and she was amazing. She's very healthy, and she really takes care of herself. And we had so much fun. I love spending time with my daughter-in-law and my son, and it just was amazing. Just amazing family time. Some of those places I've already been. So it was really, it was with Norwegian Cruise Line. I didn't like Norwegian Cruise Line as much, although we took it because it was a brand new ship, a relatively new ship. But I wish they had more activities like dance classes, more classes that are fun, rather than what they had. they had like dance class, kind of like a line dancing class, but it was in the pool area, so it wasn't as good. I'm I would have liked like ballroom dance class, and whatever. That's neither here or there, but on sea days it was a little bit difficult. They didn't have enough activities, I think, on the ship. That's it. Those three big trips: Egypt, Jordan, Central Europe, and then the river cruise and the ocean cruise. And again, these were planned way in advance. My husband and I usually plan our trips like about a year in advance. So, and hope that everything goes okay. We always get trip insurance. With elderly parents, you always have to get trip insurance no matter what. So I think that's it. I'm going to stop here now, and I hope you enjoyed. This is just a recap of what's been happening. It was a very stressful, even though we hired a very reputable construction contractor. It was still very, very stressful. There were a lot of decisions that needed to be made, a lot of changes that we made, which made the price even higher. It was stressful. We were at one point, long time ago, we used to think that we wanted to buy a piece of land and build our own house. I don't have that desire anymore after going through renovation. Those of you who've gone through renovation probably could relate, but I like things easy. But that said, at the end of the day, my parents love living there, and it's so nice to have my parents just down the stairs. And she has her own little kitchen. It's just, she loves it. She loves it. And those of you who've been following me on Instagram have seen that, like snippets of our new house and some of the renovations that was going on, because I put it on Instagram stories. A lot of it, I don't put it on the actual post because I don't want it there all the time. But I think that's it. Okay. So if you like this video, please give this a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I upload more videos. Okay guys, bye.